Hello, and thank you for watching Focus, a show focused on community, unity, and service. I'm Chris Giard. My next guest has been building partnerships to break the cycles of poverty in our community. Beth Stafford is the Executive Director and CEO of MACC Charities. Welcome, Beth.
Thank you, Chris. Good to be with you.
Thanks for being here. So first off, let's tell our viewers, what does MACC Charities stand for?
MACC Charities is an acronym for Manchester Area Conference of Churches Incorporated, and we were incorporated in 1973. So we've been around for a few years. I've been with them 21 of those, and we are like a basic needs faith-based nonprofit here in Manchester.
And how many surrounding churches are part of the charity?
MACC was created by two towns in Manchester and Bolton with 14 churches.
14.
Today we have 40, and we've added South Windsor, Glastonbury, and we have Willington because there's a church in Manchester. So we just try to do those surrounding towns.
Great. So a lot of the communities that the show goes out to, and hopefully those folks will see the great work that you do. So
Yes.
Obviously a lot has changed in the past couple months, and I was interested to know what are some of the challenges MACC Charities has faced and what you might have had to change a little bit in your operation.
MACC has always addressed the emergency needs of the community. Our service area is Manchester and Bolton. And what's changed for us is not only the volume, people losing jobs, and a lot of people don't have much more than paycheck to paycheck. So when something like that happened, they found themselves in at least temporary need. And so I think our challenge is the way we deliver services. We haven't missed any days, but obviously people couldn't come into a small kitchen that seats 40 or into the food pantry that only 6 or so can shop. So we had to get kind of creative, and my staff pulled that together so quick to where volunteers that were with us, we didn't add new volunteers. We tried to stay kind of like that family connection so that we wouldn't get or pass on COVID to a very vulnerable population. And to date, 3 months later, we haven't had one instance in volunteers, staff, or guests. So we're really pleased about that. But we started putting lunches together in the kitchen and passing them off. The highest number was like 154 a day at the very beginning.
And what is typically your normal lunch?
Yes, our normal is about 80 to maybe 120 at the end of the month.
Okay.
It is daily, it's 6 days a week. And Salvation Army takes care of the Sunday lunches, and MACC takes 8 of those back so that they can have family time with their church. And Salvation Army followed suit. They did the same thing we did, bagging up lunches. So in Manchester, anyone who's hungry can get a bagged lunch 7 days a week. And we're very, very pleased about that.
That's great.
And the food pantry, probably around 35 families a day, has jumped up to that 57, 60 a day. So
now, the Community Threads thrift shop, that did have to close down though temporarily?
We followed suit again, when they closed retail, because again, we're very small. However, we didn't stop our service part of that. We have it open that people really enjoy buying thrift, and it keeps clothing out of the landfill and gives some revenue to MACC. But we've always given whatever someone needs for free. And that has not changed. The only thing that changed, again, was they couldn't personal shop. They could tell us what they needed, their size, we shopped and handed it off.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm so glad you guys were still able to do that for them. So obviously you talked about how the volunteer base, you kept it kind of smaller family-based groups, so you limit the COVID potential. I know there's a lot of older generation that are retired that enjoy spending their time there and volunteering. How's that been for you guys with not having them around, and are they anxious to come back?
That was actually the kids of our older volunteers told them not to come. They were a hard group. Really, it just was heartwarming that you just said, you can't, especially when you've got diabetes or any of those flags, So this usually takes us 75 to 100 volunteers to work with our 5 full-time staff a week.
Wow.
And we had to pare that down to about 27, and we broke them up in teams. They never failed. Again, I've never seen anything like it. And then those that we told, we'll get you back as soon as possible, they understood, they were disappointed, and happily to say now in phase 2, they're gradually coming back in. Shorter shifts, we're trying to really, we take the temperature, we ask all the questions. We don't want to have that great success in 3 months of no incidents to opening too fast or with not enough controls to keep people safe. I know it can happen to anyone. I mean, I'm not saying that, but we've just been so blessed that no one has received a direct contact with MACC. And to tell you the truth, Chris, at first, I kind of thought with the vulnerable population, we were really kind of taking that, that edgy side. And but I think everyone complied so well to mask, disinfectant, distance. We used chalk lines for people waiting in line for the food. They'd walk around the building just like you've seen the schools do.
Right.
And the folks that we deal with, a lot of them have mental health issues or physical issues. They were troopers. I mean, I even kind of braced myself for their short fuse on a lot of rules and change.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely. It's got to be the toughest when there's a norm that we've all been used to, and then we've had to adapt so quickly.
And they did beautifully. And I think what the kindness factor there, they saw people showing up every day, not only volunteering, but dropping off and talking to them, and some people brought masks. I think we gave out over 320 masks that were homemade. Yeah. And then we had a few friends come in with the store-bought, in fact, Empire Industries that is so close to your family in Hire, gave MACC 500. And it's been a godsend to have those and be able to pass. That's just like one example of how businesses and people have seen their resources, and they have access to something and they're reaching out. Do you need this? I have that.
And I know your slogan is, kindness wins, and it's great to hear the stories of people from our community, stepping up and helping. Is there anything you want to ask from the community that you're in need of right now that they could, try to step up again?
I tease with a lot of people who call and say, what do you need? And I'll say, money stores really well and has no expiration date. But a lot of people have been so generous that way, and it does help us get food for a special diet, things that we run out over that we know we need. We can't say everything, in the newspaper, something that we need. But I would think that if people just can continue to have that mentality of what can I do, we can all do something. So whether it is a check or giving online or going out when you're grocery shopping, you see a great bargain and it's toilet tissue or paper towel or some of these things, you can buy one and get two, share the extra. And food stamps or SNAP that we call it now, they don't allow anything but food. Right. So you're talking no cleaning supplies, no household things. And how can you imagine going a day without toilet tissue or paper towel? So thinking like that. So maybe doing that, and then of course time, which people are gradually coming back in. And if people are a little leery about still coming out or dropping off, they can call us ahead of time. We've got people who pull up. We know they're coming. They pop their trunk. We take it out.
So you've got the contact delivery to them.
Yeah, we just go right to the car. We're right on Main Street. All we need to know, I mean, if we see you, we'll come out. But if you give us a call and tell us when you'll be there. Even masks, a lot of people may have access or making masks. Like our population, sometimes they lose them or forget them. Right. And we don't let them come on property without it.
So speaking of the address, why don't we give the viewers the contact information, where you're located, obviously, email, all the stuff you need to put out there for the folks.
Perfect. You can reach me right at my desk. Leave me a message if I'm not there, and I'll get it to the right people. It's 860-647-0440. And my email is bstafford@macc-ct.org. And we're right on Main Street, 460 460 Main Street, and it's got a big sign, community pantry.
Excellent. And Beth, before we let you go, I've been asking our guest, now more than ever, what are you thankful for since this pandemic hit?
I think that is the most powerful question. I hope more of us ask each other that. And I think that what I'm thankful for, I've always lived, worked, played in Manchester. It is my town. These are my humans. But I'm most thankful for what I've always felt. We were kind and proactive and a leader in how to take care of our neighbors, to see that it's true. I couldn't have orchestrated this. Some people have even asked me, did you just pop up? Was this a pop-up emergency, plan to help people? And it makes sense. If you're not church or you haven't needed help, why would you know MACC exists necessarily, unless you've seen it in the papers or even know what it stands for? And I think I'm thankful that not only for the kindness we've seen and for the impact of kindness, but maybe to lead people to really lean in and see what their community offers. Because there are so many, I don't want our treasures to be hidden.
Right.
They should be out there and known. And I think I'm thankful that that's happened.
Well, Beth Stafford, Executive Director and CEO of MACC Charities, thank you for your time today, and thank you for all that you do for our community.
Thank you, Chris.